friends, so we're back in my kitchen today, and today I'm going to talk all about skillets, obviously. And I'm talking about what kind of skillets I have, which ones I like to use for different types of food, and which ones I don't like, which ones I like and recommend. Let's start with this one. This is a stainless steel skillet, and I think this baby is the most misunderstood. I get so many comments from people that say, everything is sticking to this pan, everything burns in it, what am I doing wrong? It's a terrible skillet. You guys, it is supposed to stick at first. I'll share some tips with you how to cook things properly on it. So what do I use this skillet for? I use this probably 90% of the time or more. So I use it for just about everything. I love that it gets a really nice sear. It cooks very evenly. So it's a really great skillet. The only thing I don't use it for are delicate things like eggs, or also starchy things like potatoes. If you're gonna try to pan fry potatoes in here, they're gonna completely stick. Here's the best way to use this skillet. One of the most important things is to heat it up first before you add the food. So heat up the skillet along with the oil and make sure there's enough oil to cover the whole surface of the skillet, and then add your food. And then leave it alone. Don't mess with the chicken and poke it around. And this is where everybody starts panicking. Oh my goodness, it's sticking. Yes. Leave it. It needs to stick and get a nice browning. As soon as it gets that nice browning, it will release from the pan and you will get a beautiful sear. When choosing a stainless steel skillet, make sure you buy one that is sturdy and isn't too flimsy. If it's really thin, then it's not gonna heat evenly. Things are gonna stick to it. If you buy one that is really cheap, it will not serve you for long and you're gonna hate it. Trust me, I know this because I had a set of those pans. Another really important thing for a stainless steel skillet is to make sure you buy one that is called tri-ply. Basically, it means that there's 3 metals that are bonded together. You see how it's all smooth here? If you find one that just has like the disc on the bottom, those do not heat as evenly. The one that I have is an all Clad skillet. I have 2 of them. I have this one that is 10 inches and then I have another one that's 12 inches. So it's a little bit bigger. Like I said, I use these skillets most of the time for just about everything. If you buy a good quality stainless steel skillet, it's gonna serve you for years and years, and you can probably pass it on to your children. And I am too frugal to buy cheap things, because if you buy something cheap, it's not gonna serve you long. You're just gonna have to buy a new one. And this one I've had for, I don't know, like 10 years now, and it still looks perfectly new, almost, and it works really, really well. So I definitely recommend it. I don't really have any issues with cleaning this skillet. It's really easy. It just washes right off if something sticks to it. But another great thing about this skillet is that if you're cooking up a nice steak or browning some chicken, then those brown bits on the bottom, it's called fond, it creates a really, really delicious sauce. So you can deglaze it with broth or even with water, and it just cleans your skillet right up and it adds so much flavor to your food. But if you're not using that fond, you can simply add some water, use a whisk, and it just comes right off. Or just wash it in the sink. That's easy too. Cast iron skillets are great. They're one of my favorites. And actually, if you season it properly and use it for a few years, you probably don't even need any other skillets, because this has such a sturdy construction. It's like really thick. It heats very evenly, so it's perfect for getting a nice sear. And it also, over time, becomes non-stick, because nothing will stick to it if you season it well. I've had this for, I don't know, 8 to 10 years as well, and mine is so non-stick now I can easily make omelets in here and the omelet just slides right out. It's perfect. I'm going to film another video all about the cast iron skillet, so I can go into more details about how to season it, how to cook in it, and all of that, so you can get more details on this skillet. But essentially what you do is every time you use it, you apply oil to it, like just rub it in with a paper towel, and then you put it over low heat, either on your stove or in the oven, and it builds up this non-stick surface. It's not technically one of those non-stick surfaces that are on the non-stick skillets, but it becomes so that nothing sticks to it. The cast iron skillet is also really affordable, and you can buy it just about anywhere online in the store. This one is the Lodge cast iron skillet. I have the 10-inch one, and then I also have the 12-inch one. And this thing doesn't wear out over time. It just gets better with age, so you can definitely pass this on to your kids and your grandkids probably too. So last but not least, I'm going to talk about non-stick skillets. I have two different kinds here. This one has the typical Teflon coating. There's so much research that it's bad for your health. So this is what I'm going to say. If you're going to buy a Teflon non-stick skillet, nothing sticks to it, so that's great. But you have to make sure you use it right, because it can be harmful to your health. First of all, never heat it up to really high heat without any food, because if you heat it up above a certain temperature, it gives off really harmful fumes. So no, just add your oil before you turn it on, and then turn it on and add your food. Another thing is not to use anything abrasive or any like metal utensils in here, because if it gets scratched, that's also very harmful because it's going to leach into your food. I replace them every 6 months approximately. As soon as I see that there's any scratch, I always just replace it. When buying a non-stick skillet, like I keep mentioning, make sure that it doesn't feel flimsy and light. Obviously, it's not going to feel as heavy as a cast iron or a stainless steel skillet, but it needs to have you know, a certain amount of heft for this type of skillet. Otherwise, your food is going to burn in it and it's not going to cook evenly. I think what people like the most about non-stick skillets or cookware in general is that you don't have to be a very experienced cook, because nothing sticks to them. You don't need to know the proper way of cooking things. You can just use it and nothing will stick to it, and it gets great browning as long as you get a good quality non-stick skillet. This is the OXO or OXO brand of non-stick skillet. This works great, and I also recommend the one that is the T-Fal non-stick skillet. Both of them are pretty sturdy and I haven't had any issues with them, but like I said, make sure to use it properly and replace it as needed. I've been on the hunt for a non-stick skillet that has a healthier coating than the regular Teflon. So I've tried a few different options. The first one I tried was a ceramic coated one by Green Pan. And one thing I can say about that skillet is that very quickly, within like a month, it wore off and it looked kind of dull and everything stuck to it. So I haven't tried any other ceramic ones, so I can't really say much about them. This skillet I bought at Costco, and supposedly it's healthier. So I'm gonna actually look up what it is, because I don't remember what this coating is. Okay, so it says that it's a revolutionary speckled ceramic reinforced non-stick for quick release and fast cleanup. Has 3 durable layers of ceramic reinforced non-stick, and it's PFOA free coating. I can't say for sure that this is healthier or not. I know it's healthier than the Teflon. I don't think there's enough research out there yet, because this is relatively new. The other good thing about this is that you can use metal utensils if you want to. I guess I'm so used to not using anything metal with the non-stick, I just don't. So I don't know if it withstands scratches or not. Supposedly it does. I've used this since November, so it's been a few months, and I think it works really well. It has a really great nonstick coating. It heats food really well, it browns food really well, so I really like it. The downside is that I bought it at Costco and I have not been able to find it anywhere since. It was a great deal around November, December, whatever. So I'm sure you can find something similar in another brand. This is the Henckels International brand. I haven't even found it online, so I wish I could give you guys a link, but I just have not been able to find this specific skillet anywhere else. I know there's others with this similar coating, so I'm sure you could find it. There's also copper skillets. I personally don't own them. My mom and my sister both have them. They both love them, and I've used it at their houses and I thought they worked great too. Along with not using anything abrasive to turn things in the nonstick skillet, also don't use anything abrasive when you wash it. So wash it with like the soft sponge. Don't use anything abrasive because it will damage the coating. You also don't want to use the dishwasher to wash your cast iron skillets. This one says on the box that you shouldn't use a dishwasher. You can use this in the dishwasher, but honestly it will wear out your coating faster if you use the dishwasher. The only one that is fine in the dishwasher is the stainless steel one. I have no issues of putting it in there. It washes out great. I also do not recommend taking a hot skillet right off the stove and putting it under water. A lot of times it will warp your skillets, so just as a general rule of thumb, don't do that for any skillets. Should you buy a cookware set? I personally think that it's much more worth it to buy the specific pots and pans that you need. I think it comes out to be cheaper and you get exactly what you want. Instead of buying a full set and have pieces that you won't need and it'll just clutter up your kitchen, buy exactly the skillets and the pots that you want, the size that you want, and make up your own customized set. I'll have links for all of these skillets on my website so you can easily find them for yourself. In my recipes, if you're wondering which skillet to use, I always have it listed below the recipe, so you can find the link to the skillet that I use in that recipe right there. Alrighty you guys, so we covered a lot of information about skillets. I hope it demystified them for you a little bit and that I answered your questions. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them. See you in the next video.